What's up guys, Spock here. Today I just wanted to come talk about limiters versus soft clippers versus hard clippers, their different characteristics, and when you might want to use each one. I'm using Ableton for this video, but the same concepts apply to FL or Logic or whatever other DAW you're using. So what a limiter does is it reduces the amplitude of anything above a certain threshold. So that means most limiters are at 0, so anything that goes over 0 gets compressed back down to 0. So as you can see here, I have a sine wave peaking around -3, and since the threshold on this limiter is 0, if I were to boost the gain either by adjusting the input gain here, which most limiters have a gain knob, you can see the waveform doesn't really change. You know, it's still a sine wave, because all that's happening when it crosses this threshold, it's just getting compressed. You can see 18 dB of gain reduction. So yeah, it's just compressing the signal back down. Versus a hard clipper, what that does is at a given threshold, it just cuts the sound completely off. So what that's gonna do is gonna basically turn a sine wave into a square wave, which basically means a lot of harmonics and distortion are gonna be added to the signal. So you can see that here with the sine wave. Just looks like a regular sine wave. But if I start turning the gain up, the threshold is at 0 still right here, and this is a hard clipper. You can see when it reaches 0, it just cuts the waveform off completely, and you can hear the distortion being added. And this, you can change the clip threshold, so if you turn it down, now it's basically just a square wave. And similar to hard clippers, what a soft clipper does is as the sound gets to the threshold, it rolls off those peaks instead of just abruptly cutting them off. So you're still gonna get distortion, but it's gonna be a little more natural sounding. So I'll show that here. If I just turn up the soft clipping to like 50%, let's say. You can see, here it's probably easier to see if I do it like this. You can see it sort of rolls off. You can see the slope here as well. If I turn it all the way off, you can really see the rounding of the waveform instead of just abruptly cutting it off. See, that just completely cuts it off. Versus it rounds it. I almost said it's subtle but very noticeable. That's just a really basic overview. I would really encourage you to try them out for yourself and see how you think they sound different and where you like to use each one. But personally for me, I use limiters when I don't want to introduce more harmonic content and distortion and things like that if I want it to be a bit more clean. In most cases, I end up using soft clippers. I just find the distortion to be a bit more pleasing. It's a little less noticeable than a hard clipper would be. On my masters, soft clippers, I'm sure everybody knows Fruity Soft Clipper. Yeah, soft clippers I find to just work better on most things. If I'm wanting to, like if I'm designing an 808 that I want to be really distorted, sometimes I'll use hard clippers or soft clippers. It depends. Like, I really think you should just try for yourself, turn knobs, see what sounds good to you, just try it out. A limiter sounds more similar to the original audio. Soft clippers are going to be distorted, but a little subtler than a hard clipper would be, and hard clippers are just complete cuts off. Yeah, these are all plugins that basically are used to reduce dynamics and allow you to increase the volume and get rid of peaks. That's essentially what they do. If you want more in-depth knowledge, join the Discord. I just wanted a real quick video to just give a basic overview because I don't think most people actually know what a limiter or a clipper does. So I just wanted to kind of explain the very basics.